Welcome back here to the Hill on NewsNation. So heading into the 4th of July, intense heat is scorching most of the South and out west as well. This is a live look at Sin City as temperatures there hit 112 degrees. Oof. This comes as the Biden administration is now proposing a new federal rule to protect millions of workers from what they describe as extreme heat across the nation. Now, if enacted, it would be the first federal heat safety standard for people working inside and outside. Here are just some of the proposed requirements for employers. At temperatures of 80 degrees, you would have to monitor employees for heat stress and supply shaded and break areas along with water. And at 90 degrees, employers must give a minimum 15-minute paid rest break every 2 hours. Our next guest says many of these heat safety requirements are already being used to protect workers in the construction industry. And joining us now is Brian Turmail. He's the vice president of the Associated General Contractors of America. Brian, thanks for being with us here on the Hill. You are for this. Explain why.
Well, as you said, a lot of the measures that are outlined in this new rule really essentially won't fundamentally change what firms are doing to protect workers from the heat. And that's for two reasons. One, because firms have long been required to protect workers from heat exposure under what's called this general duty clause in the OSHA Act, the original OSHA Act. And two, we actually work very closely with OSHA officials to help educate them about what the construction industry does to protect workers from the heat. This isn't something that's new. Yes, we have longer and hotter summers, but we've long had people working outside as long as we've been doing construction. And the basic tenets are water, rest, shade, and training. And this rule really does a good job covering water, rest, and shade.
So OSHA, for the folks at home, is the government agency that looks over occupational health and safety standards. I know you say that you're doing this, but this would be a mandate, right? This would be a government rule. And when I look at the 15 minutes break every 2 hours, I could give you a laundry list of examples, but let's just go through a few that I just made up. Lifeguards at pools, you got to shut down the pools. Umpires at kids' games, stop the games. What about the National Football League, Major League Baseball? Are we going to stop the games there for 15 minutes? Fishing guides, you're out on the boat, it hits 90, need a break. Is that what we're really going to do here? Is that what we're really going to mandate?
Well, I get the luxury of worrying about the construction industry just because they pay my salary. And this is something that we already do in construction. And you've got multiple people working on a job site. So you just rotate out who's in the Mr. 10 or who's in the air-conditioned job site trailer for their 15-minute rest period. I would say that the one contention we've got with what federal safety officials have done here is they are attempting a bit of a one-size-fits-all approach in that they've got the same heat triggers for the entire country. But 90-degree day in Vicksburg, Mississippi in July is going to affect a worker very different than a 90-degree day in Fairbanks, Alaska in July.
Yeah,
because they're where they are acclimated. Yes, I'm from South Florida as well. But so we would like to see a little bit more recognition of regional weather patterns. The other thing that's missing is that training part. Heat safety doesn't start at the job site. We spend a lot of time as an industry working to educate workers about the need to hydrate, to avoid heavy consumption of alcohol or caffeinated beverages, and to be careful about what kind of medicines they're taking and just knowing whether those medicines might dehydrate them. Unfortunately, the rule misses some of the focus on training that's long been in industry practice. But certainly, from a construction point of view, yes, we long put people into rest because it's an outdoor activity.
Yeah, I hear you, Brian. Isn't this, though, inflationary? Because if you're going to mandate this on folks, a 15-minute rest every 2 hours, let's just go for 8 hours, right? You're either going to get 7 hours of work that when you normally paid for 8, or you got to pay for 9 to get the full 8. And in a time when inflation is still ripping, this would hurt the wallets of consumers and businesses alike, would it not?
Again, on the construction point of view, you're going to lose a lot more money if you've got a worker who passes out because of heat exhaustion and you've got to shut the job site down while you wait for the ambulance to show up and take that person to the hospital. So at least in construction, we have an ability to provide that 15 minutes of rest and at the same time continue to build what the nation wants in terms of infrastructure and economic development projects.
All right, Brian Turmail, we got to leave it there. Hope you enjoy your 4th. Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider.
And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.